CS2 Devs just gave us their thoughts on recent FPS discussions. This comes from Fletcher Dunn, a Valve engineer. I get this message often. Latest update destroyed perf on my computer. I was getting solid 500 FPS, but now it occasionally drops down to 150 FPS to 170. I feel unmotivated to investigate that particular problem, to be honest, especially considering the other problems I'm working on. He continues and says when there's posts on Reddit complaining about frame rate issues, he often just sends a link to these instructions on how to record an ETW trace, which is a tool to record system activity and can be used to diagnose certain performance problems. It's very good at solving hitches in the frame rate. An ETW trace is usually not the right tool for investigating problems such as my FPS used to be fast but now it's always slow, or most of the time my FPS is 7000 but sometimes it drops to only 120. In this sheet he shared, it also says to be aware that very often the problem we find is caused by some other software running on your computer. So the first step you should take when you are having problems is to run the game without any extra software running and see if the problem still happens. I'll leave a full link to the instructions on how to record an ETW trace that was provided by the Valve engineer if you are interested, but he continues and says if you put an FPS cap at 120, you consistently get a really high quality experience. But instead, there is a number on the screen that goes from 500 to 170, and yes, it quote unquote feels different, and so there's a quote unquote problem. I just can't bring myself to prioritize that. I am curious, what has been your experience with FPS recently? Has it been getting better, or are you running into some problems? If so, send Valve one of these traces so they can try to figure it out.